All right, we're here today to talk about something that's a lot bigger than just you or me. It's about something deep in the soul of the world, the spirit. The kind of energy that doesn't just change lives, it shifts them. See, every woman needs to see this woman. You've heard of her. Maybe you haven't. She's not on a billboard, but she's making history one moment at a time. She doesn't have a perfect picture on social media, but she's living a story that nobody could ever duplicate. This woman, she's real. She's the one who wakes up every morning, faces down challenges, and keeps on walking, even when the road's rocky and the path is unclear. But let me tell you something. It's not about the trophy she's earned or the applause she's received. It's not about the way she looks or how many followers she's got. No, this woman is a force because of the way she shows up in the world unapologetically with courage that comes from the depths of her heart. She's the one who rises after falling, the one who picks herself up when the weight of the world is heavy on her shoulders. Every time she faces a setback, she doesn't just take it. She lets it fuel her. Now, I'm not talking about some kind of superhuman strength here. Nah, this is the kind of strength that exists in the everyday woman. The one who keeps moving forward, even when the circumstances seem impossible. She does it with grace. She does it with fire. And she does it because she knows, not just believes, but knows that there is power inside her, a power that the world doesn't even know what to do with yet. And this woman, she sees the world a little differently. She knows that life's not about waiting for permission. Life's not about playing small. Life's about showing up, about doing what it takes to chase those dreams, to push the boundaries, and to love like you've never been hurt before. See, you don't need permission to be who you're supposed to be. You don't need the world's validation. You need to stand tall and know who you are deep down in your bones. When you realize that, when you see this woman, this reflection of strength, courage, and authenticity, there is no going back. There is no more doubt. There is no more waiting for the right moment to step up. This woman is you. She's your sister, friend, your mother, your daughter. She's all around you. And you need to see her. You need to recognize her in yourself and in the people you surround yourself with. So I want you to ask yourself this. What if you believe, just for today, that you are the woman the world needs to see? What if you started walking like you know where you're going, not just like you're waiting for the right path to reveal itself? Because, baby, when you do that, you'll see something different. You'll see that woman you've been waiting to become standing in front of you. And she's not just some distant dream. She's real. She's the one you've been waiting for all along. You are that woman. Now, go out there and show the world. Strength is born from overcoming adversity, not avoiding it. We all encounter hardships, obstacles, and moments of doubt. The common misconception is that strength is something you either have or don't, but the truth is strength is forged through experience, particularly through the challenges that test you, push you to your limits, and force you to grow. It's easy to look at someone who seems unshaken, someone who radiates confidence, and assume they were just born that way. But what most people fail to see is the behind-the-scenes story, the struggle, the late nights, the failures, the losses. Strength isn't a gift, it's a process. When we face adversity, there's a natural instinct to avoid it. Our brain tells us to seek comfort, to stay in the familiar, and to shy away from things that might cause us discomfort. It's human nature to want to protect ourselves from pain. But the moment we step into the unknown, the moment we push past our fears and face the difficulties head on, that's when the transformation begins. It's in these moments when we feel at our weakest that the foundation of our strength is being laid. Every setback, every struggle, every tear we shed is an integral part of the process. Adversity doesn't just build physical strength, it builds mental fortitude. The more challenges we encounter and overcome, the more resilient we become. We learn to adapt, to innovate, and to keep going, even when everything inside of us is screaming to quit. Strength comes from the ability to keep moving forward when it feels like there's no reason to. It's the decision to get up after falling down, to face failure as a lesson, not a defeat. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not in how many times they fall, but in how many times they get back up. This idea is crucial for anyone, especially women who are constantly navigating spaces that may not always value them or their contributions. It's in those moments when the world seems to be working against you that your true strength is born. Women are often told they have to work twice as hard to prove themselves, to be seen, to be heard. And that can be exhausting, but it's also empowering. It forces you to develop an inner strength that no one can take away from you. It pushes you to rise, not because you have something to prove to anyone else, but because you know that your strength is yours alone to claim. One of the greatest sources of personal strength comes from embracing failure. Too often, failure is seen as something to be avoided, something that indicates weakness or incompetence. But in reality, failure is one of the most valuable tools we have for growth. Every time you fail, you learn something new. Every time you fail, you discover what doesn't work, and with that knowledge, you get closer to finding what does. It's in the failure you discover your limits, and then through pushing past those limits, you find out what you're truly capable of. Each failure isn't a mark against you, it's a stepping stone to something greater. Strength is also found in vulnerability. It takes strength to acknowledge that you don't have all the answers, to admit when you're struggling, and to ask for help when you need it. Society often teaches us that vulnerability is a sign of weakness, but the truth is, it's one of the bravest things you can do. It requires an immense amount of strength to be open about your challenges and to share your journey with others. By being vulnerable, you not only release the pressure of carrying everything on your own, but you also invite others to share their experiences, creating a space of mutual support. There is power in vulnerability, and through it we can form connections that make us even stronger. As you continue to face adversity, you begin to realize that strength is not about never feeling weak, but about how you respond when you do. It's the willingness to keep fighting even when it seems impossible. It's the decision to keep showing up, even when you're not sure how you're going to make it through the day. In those moments, you don't need to have all the answers. What you need is the courage to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Because that's how strength is built: one step, one decision, one victory over fear at a time. Adversity, while difficult, is a gift. It's the fire in which your character is forged. It's where you discover who you really are and what you're truly capable of. When you embrace adversity rather than avoid it, you unlock a well of strength inside yourself that you never knew existed. This strength doesn't just make you resilient in the face of future challenges, it changes the way you see the world. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks, and instead you see them as opportunities for growth. With each challenge you overcome, you become more confident, more capable, and more prepared for the next chapter of your life. And that's the power of adversity. It doesn't just build strength, it transforms you. True power comes from unapologetically being yourself. In a world that often tries to shape you into something you're not, the greatest source of strength lies in embracing who you truly are. For so many, this feels like a daunting task. It's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others, to mold yourself into someone who fits in, who meets the standards set by society, family, or even friends. The pressure to conform can be overwhelming, and the fear of being judged or rejected is often enough to silence our true selves. But the truth is, your real power emerges the moment you stop trying to be someone you're not and fully embrace who you are, flaws and all. The world will try to tell you how to look, how to speak, how to act. It will present you with ideals of success and beauty that are often unattainable and unrealistic. Society often measures worth based on how closely you align with the prescribed image, whether it's the way you dress, the career you pursue, or even the relationships you form. But when you conform to these expectations, you give up your individuality. You surrender the essence of who you are in exchange for a version of yourself that is acceptable to the outside world. The problem with this is that you lose your authentic power. When you are unapologetically yourself, you begin to live life on your own terms. There's a freedom that comes with shedding the need to seek approval, to fit into someone else's mold. It's not about ignoring others' opinions or disregarding the value of feedback. It's about staying true to your own values, desires, and beliefs. You start to recognize that your worth doesn't depend on external validation. Instead, it's about trusting yourself, believing in your own abilities, and honoring your journey. The moment you accept that who you are is enough, everything shifts. You stop looking for outside approval, and you begin to rely on your own sense of worth. Being yourself takes courage. It's much easier to blend in, to follow the crowd, and to do what everyone else is doing. But the real power comes when you dare to be different, when you are not afraid to stand out in a world that constantly tells you to fit in. It means expressing yourself authentically, whether it's through your creativity, your passions, or your voice. It means allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to show up exactly as you are, without pretending to be something else. This kind of authenticity radiates confidence. When you embrace your true self, there's an energy that others can't help but notice. They see your courage and are inspired by your willingness to be unapologetically you. For women, this often means challenging societal norms and expectations. From a young age, women are told to be polite, to be accommodating, and to put others' needs before their own. We are taught to be caregivers, nurturers, and to shrink ourselves to make others feel comfortable. The world tells us that we should be pretty, passive, and perfect. But the moment a woman steps outside of these expectations and expresses herself authentically, she's often met with criticism or judgment. The world is quick to label her as too much, too loud, too bold, too ambitious. But the truth is, there is no such thing as too much. The power lies in the ability to show up as your full, unfiltered self without fear of judgment or rejection. This unapologetic authenticity is not about arrogance or disregarding the feelings of others. It's about honoring your truth and understanding that your voice, your perspective, and your experience are just as valuable as anyone else's. It's about recognizing that you have the right to exist fully as yourself without shame or hesitation. It means letting go of the need for external validation and finding fulfillment within yourself. When you're truly yourself, you stop living for the approval of others and start living for your own happiness and fulfillment. Being unapologetically yourself also means accepting your imperfections. No one is perfect. We all have flaws, insecurities, and struggles. But these imperfections are not weaknesses, they are what make you uniquely you. When you embrace these flaws and own them, you show the world that you are not afraid to be real. You're not hiding behind a facade of perfection. Instead, you're showing up as your true, authentic self. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. There is incredible power in vulnerability. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, you create space for others to do the same. Being yourself also means setting boundaries and protecting your energy. It's about knowing when to say no, when to stand firm in your beliefs, and when to let go of relationships or situations that no longer serve you. By honoring your own needs and desires, you create a life that is aligned with your values. You stop living for others and start living for yourself, and in doing so, you reclaim your power. The most powerful thing you can do is to be true to yourself. When you are unapologetically you, you are free. Free from the chains of societal expectations, free from the need for approval, and free to live a life that is uniquely your own. This kind of power is unshakable. It cannot be taken from you, and it will guide you through the challenges and uncertainties of life. So embrace your true self unapologetically, because in doing so, you unlock the greatest power you will ever know. Life isn't about waiting for permission, it's about showing up. So often we wait. We wait for the right time, for the perfect moment, for the approval of others. We wait for someone to give us the green light, to tell us that we are worthy or capable enough to take that next step. But what if I told you that waiting is the very thing holding you back? The truth is, the world isn't going to hand you permission. No one is going to give you a certificate of approval to pursue your dreams, chase your passions, or live the life you envision. That power, it lies within you. And the only thing standing between you and your future is the decision to show up. Showing up isn't just about physically being present. It's about stepping into your own life with intention and purpose. It's about fully committing to who you are, to what you want, and to the path you choose to take. Showing up means taking ownership of your journey, even if the road ahead is unclear or daunting. It means taking that first step, even when you're unsure of the outcome. When you show up, you take control of the direction you want your life to go in. The most successful people aren't those who waited for things to be handed to them. They're the ones who showed up over and over again, even when they didn't have all the answers. We all have dreams, desires, and goals, yet many of us keep them locked inside, waiting for the perfect moment to act. But the truth is that moment may never come. Life doesn't wait for you to feel fully ready. It doesn't wait for you to have every piece of the puzzle figured out. If you're constantly waiting for the right moment, you'll miss the opportunities that are happening right now. You will miss the chance to learn, to grow, and to take risks that could change everything for you. Waiting for permission is an excuse. It's a way to avoid stepping into the unknown, to avoid taking responsibility for your own potential. The world will tell you that you need qualifications, that you need experience, that you need something more before you can succeed. But the truth is, you don't need permission to start. You don't need permission to take that leap, to create something new, or to make a change in your life. All you need is the willingness to show up. The willingness to say, I'm here and I'm ready. When you show up for yourself, you show the world that you are committed to your growth, your success, and your journey. And when you show up with confidence and determination, others will take notice. They may not always understand your path, but they will respect your commitment to it. Showing up doesn't mean everything will be easy or smooth. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges, setbacks, or moments of doubt. But showing up means that you are willing to face those challenges head on. You're willing to keep moving forward even when things get tough. When you show up for yourself, you don't let fear, uncertainty, or failure stop you. You take each obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. You take each challenge as a lesson, and you keep going no matter what. Showing up is the act of resilience, of persistence. It's the decision to keep going even when the path is unclear. The act of showing up also means being present, being fully engaged in the process, not just the outcome. It's easy to get caught up in what's next, in the end goal, and what you hope to achieve. But true success isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting the process. Showing up means being consistent, even when the results aren't immediate. It means staying committed to your vision, even when progress feels slow. Every small step you take, every action you make gets you closer to where you want to be. And each day you show up, you become more resilient, more confident, and more equipped to handle whatever life throws at you. When you show up, you take ownership of your life. You take ownership of your dreams. You stop waiting for someone else to validate your worth or your vision. You stop seeking permission from others to live your life according to your own terms. You understand that you are the one responsible for making things happen. You are the one who gets to decide how your story unfolds. When you stop waiting for permission, you stop giving away your power. You take control of your destiny and you start actively shaping your future. But the power of showing up is not just for you, it's for everyone around you. When you show up for yourself, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of action, of courage, and of possibility. Your willingness to take the first step, to show up despite the fear or uncertainty, encourages others to do the same in their own lives. You become a living example of what it looks like to take ownership of your journey and to show up for yourself